Hi there, Flosstube. Welcome to Sycamore Stitches, my cross-stitching channel. My name's Amanda. My pronouns are she, her, and like I just said, this is a channel where we talk about cross-stitch and sometimes other things. But it has been, I think, 2.5 weeks since I made a video. It's been extremely busy here. We have spring activities that the kids are involved in. There's been a dance recital for 2 of my kids. My youngest is on a softball team, and there's lots of games and practices, and I have had lots of meetings for my own work and responsibilities too. So it's just been, last week I had something I think almost every evening and multiple things during the days as well. So I did manage to still get some stitching done with all of that. But every time I sat down to think, oh, I should make a video, I thought, or I could stitch. And so that is what won out. But here we are. So I wanted to start with a haul today, actually, because I've already dipped into some of it. So I had made an order to 123 Stitch, and I got that. Actually, it's already been a little while, like a week and a half ago or so, maybe 2 weeks ago, it came in. But I have tried to not put it all away so that I could show it to you guys. So let's do that. Where do I start? Okay, so first, I got some little Mill Hill kits, and I had never done these before. I'd never done any beading, so I wanted to give it a try. I do have a Mirabilia kitted up that I want to do, but it doesn't give you much instructions on like how to do the beading, like what color thread do you use? Do you use half or whole cross stitches? Anyhow, these Millho kits have much more detailed instructions on how to do them. And so that makes me feel better, as in after I do these, I think I'll feel like ready to tackle the project that is larger and has less instructions, because at least I'll have like a base to know like kind of what I'm doing. Anyhow, this is the first one. It is called Lucky Day, right? Yes, Lucky Day. Oh, I got 3 of these, and what they're for each of my kids. They come with something to make them into a magnet, so I will probably do that. But I may also add, what am I trying to say? A loop, like to make them into an ornament. Anyhow, one of my daughters is named Clover, so this one is obviously for her. This is for my oldest because she likes owls. This one's called Snowy Owlet. And then this is for my youngest, which is called Autumn Gold. And this one looks like it has the most colors of floss and beads, and just looks like it's going to take the most time. So I've already started on some of these, so I will show you those right after I finish with the haul. I also got a couple patterns from the, I mean, I'm sure it's been seen, it's all over Flosstube, these Cottage Garden Samplings Year in the Woods series. It's a little traditional for my taste, but here's the reason why I got one of these is my oldest has ferrets as pets, and they have a ferret, and he's really cute. And so I was like, I have to do this one for her because she loves ferrets. And while I was at it, I do love the fox one. And so I got that because, I mean, what's not to love about that? I know like all kinds of people on Flosstube have gotten this pattern or started it, probably finished it too. So I don't know. I mean, I've seen the other ones that come out. I'm definitely not going to do like all of these, but I kind of like the idea of maybe if there's enough others that catch my eye, of maybe doing one for each season. So this is one of the spring ones. This is one of the winter ones. None of the fall ones are out, and I've seen the bear one from the summer ones, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll just do these two. Who knows? Oh, also, I had got the specialty threads. Each of them is charted with like DMC and 2 specialty threads. So these are the 2 specialty threads for the fox. They are Gentle Art sampler threads, burnt orange, and chalk, which I don't really know why you need a over dyed for white, because it doesn't really look like it has variegation to it. The orange has a little variegation. So I don't know, that seems kind of silly to use a specialty thread for white, but whatever. I did not get the specialty threads yet for the ferret because I think I'm going to convert them to a different brand. But it is I definitely want to get the variegated brown. Why does my lighting look bad? I probably need to shut those blinds. The brown definitely has some good variegation, so I'll probably want to get something like that. And then the yellow is the other specialty thread in that one. So there's that. Next, I had showed you that I got these 4 seasonal patterns from Satsuma Street. These ones. There's one for each season. And I thought that I wanted to try doing them on chalkboard black. I got a 16 count Ada in chalkboard black. A very large piece to do. Wow, that's a very large piece. Oh my goodness. I never buy fabric that big. To do all 4 of them on. I have not done a floss toss yet because here's a lot of the flosses. They all came here. Not a couple of them are just regular DMCs that when I looked through I either didn't have or didn't have very much of, but most of these are variegated DMCs because each of these patterns has like 7 variegated colors that are either just DMC variegated or these ones that are, what are these called? They're the color variations. They cost more, not really sure why. But so some of them are the color variations one, some of them are just kind of the, I don't know that they have a special name, just the variegated DMC. So I've got bunches of these. So I'm gonna have to do some, ooh, that one's interesting. Look at that one. I haven't even taken these out of the package before right now. So I'm like, ooh, look at these colors. Anyhow, I need to do some floss tossing onto the black, and probably there will be some colors that I need to change in order to make it work on the black. So we will see. But anything that's too dark, I will have to kind of change it for some contrast, probably. Like just the one on top is the winter, right? In Vierno. And this bird body and like the top of the pine cone looks like it's kind of a dark gray. That's not going to work, I don't think, on this fabric. So we'll just take a, I think with this, it's something that I'll just like go one at a time when I'm ready to start them, and probably each of them are going to have a color or two that needs adjusted. But I think it will be interesting on black. So we will see. So there's that. Now that I've showed it in the video, I can start like pulling the colors and like figuring that part out, because I hadn't done that yet, and that would be fun. And then the other, I don't have a printout, but the other Satsuma Street patterns I got were for the Flower Friends. Maybe I could just add a picture. I'll put that in there later. And I got the Cosmo Floss Pack. So these are the colors. They're very bright. And I got this for them, which is a 16 count Ada called Sun Shower. It's a pale but it's a pale bright yellow. Does that make sense? Because it's not, it's a bright yellow, but it's just subdued. I don't know if I'm explaining that, but I think that'll look good with this. There is this kind of yellowish green, and there is this gold, and there is like a cream. But I think they're all going to work well on that yellow. I think that's going to be a good one for them. There's 3 of them, which hopefully you've seen, because hopefully I found a picture to put up there. So that is is that all my haul? I think it is. So there's that. Oh wait, it's not all my haul, but it's all of my 1, 2, 3 stitch haul. I also got a StitchyBox. I'm going to show that at the end though. So it's going to get haul's broken up. Well, what the heck? We'll just do it now. Okay, so I ordered this Flower and Garden StitchyBox, countdown box. It has 30 of these small, you know, individually wrapped little doodads here. They're all kind of arranged in the box. There's a bunch of them underneath here because I took them all out and put them kind of a little more in numerical order. And I got it on May 19th, and that's when I started it. So I just opened day 5 today, but let me insert a video here. I have videos that I took on day 1 and 2, and then I stopped taking them. So let me insert those here, and then we'll come back and I will show you what I have. Okay, so I got my Flowering Garden countdown box from StitchyBox. It was a little later than I had expected. It had originally said that they would be shipping out on March 22nd. But today is what, May 19th, and I have received it. So, I already took the little packages out to just count and make sure I had them all and put them in order. So there are 30. There's some underneath here. And it would be great to wait till June and do it for June because there's 30 days, but yeah, right, I'm not going to do that. So I think I will just do day 1 right now because I don't really want to wait. This is hard to do one-handed. I never tape on my phone. Yikes. Okay, I had to stop for a second because that was much harder than I thought. And sorry, I have like this cover on my phone, so it likes to flop in the way. It says, day 1, flower silk thread. Welcome to our Flowering Garden box. We start off with a brand new flower silk colorway, Secret Garden. And ooh, is this? That is pretty. Wow. Six-strand hand-dyed silk floss, 8 yards. Wow, that is, I really like that. I don't know what I'll use it for, but it's very pretty. So that is number 1. Hi there. Here to do day 2 from my StitchyBox countdown. I'd already taken the sticker off to see if maybe that would allow me to do this one-handed. I shook this one. It sounds like it's beads. Let's see. It is. Mini fringe beads. Ooh, they're really pretty there. I think there's a little tag in there, but maybe there isn't. 3 grams of transparent medium blue
They're pretty round compared to the little beads I've been using on the Mill Hill kits. Okay, well that is day 2. Doesn't exactly match the thread I already got, but I'm sure it will go with something else. Okay, that's it.
Okay, so as you saw in the video, day 1 is this really pretty flower silk called Secret Garden. It's very fun. And you saw day 2, which has these blue beads. Day 3, I didn't take a video. Maybe I'll go back to doing those, but it was very difficult to do on my phone, and it's also hard for me to transfer the videos. Not hard, but from my phone back to my computer. So we'll see. Maybe I'll just do them on my computer. Anyhow, day 3 is this giant button that's purple and shiny. It's cool. I'm not sure what I use with this. I don't usually do like 3D finishes. We'll see. If nothing else, my daughter will definitely make something cool out of this. So I may eventually give it to her. We'll see. Day 4, I'm super excited about this one. It is just a tiny little needle minder of kind of like this iridescent flower. It's very small. I don't know what to compare it to. My hand, my finger. It's a very small needle minder, but it's also really light, so I kind of like that. And then just today, I opened another floss. This is a classic Colorworks. It's called Snips and Snails. And it might be a little hard to see, but it's basically like a very light baby blue with variegations into a light purple, and there's also kind of some light green. It's very pale. I don't know if that's really, it kind of, I feel like it's just looking white for you guys. Maybe if I put it against something, you'll see it. I think that's a little bit better. Yeah, it's mostly blue. Well, maybe not mostly blue. It's light blue, light green, and light purple. So that's pretty. That might be, you know what, this might be a good one for when I have to do some of that color changing for putting those ones on the black, because this is a nice, very pale color. It would be good for that. Anyhow, we'll see. So that is the ones that I've opened so far. And I will continue with that through 30 days. As far as finishes, I do have one finish, which is actually a start and finish, a SAF, as some people would say. And it is this one that is the Mill Hill kit that I just showed you. I started it almost right away. Let me see if I'm going to keep using this Ada. Yeah, that's a decent background. My lighting is not great today. Anyhow, this one went pretty quick. It was only 3 colors of floss, 3 colors of beads. It's got a little treasure in there in the middle. I thought it turned out really well. But like I said, my first time using beads. That was pretty nice. I have not obviously fully finished it. I have to cut it out, put some backing on it, put a magnet on it. I think I'm actually going to wait till I finish all 3 of these and then like do them all together. And then I also had a start, which is another one of them, which is the owl. He's not finished. His stitching is all finished, and I just started some of the beading last night, which is this cream bead that I have around his head, but it still needs a whole bunch of cream in his wing. And then there's 2 different color green beads and then some larger red beads for berries on this side. And the treasure for him is like a holly leaf over here that I have, that will be added when I do the beads. So there you can see the beads that are on his head. So he is in process. I think this one took me like between 7 and 8 hours to do. And he is a little more intricate. There was like 10 colors of floss instead of 3. and 4 colors of beads for him. So I don't know, I've put probably like 5 hours into him already. So there's those. So that's my starts and my finishes, which are just the little kits. And, you know, usually I like to finish something before I start something else. That's usually my rule for myself, but I'm not really sure why these little things, they were just like, we don't follow rules, we're tiny. Okay, so that's what happened. Sometimes the projects just make up their own rules and you're like, okay, I guess so. So I seem to have buried my notes here somewhere. Let me move some of these things so I can find them. Oh, dropping floss. Okay, so moving on to whips. I like to say my plans usually as we go. So obviously my plan is to finish this guy. I'm not really sure if I'll start the third one that I have at that right away or not. I might wait. I guess we'll see. Whips. We'll start with this one. I did it. This is probably the one I did the least amount on. I think I only put about an hour into it. And this is not exactly a cross stitch. It's a counted canvas work, which I think would be most closely, I guess you would call it needlepoint, but it's not really regular needlepoint. Anyhow, it's called Azaleas by Moonlight from Nancy's Needle. And I had already finished this whole middle and started on this whole blue area. So I'll put a picture right here of where I was last time. And here's where I'm at now. Oh, this one definitely needs something behind it. So basically, all of this blue along the top, right along here, is what I did since last time. And then I guess I got tired of the blue and I stopped. I do like working on this one, but because of these large stretcher bars, it can be a little awkward, and it's not something I like to work on for long periods of time. But the way the pattern is, there was like one part of the pattern was the middle square, and then the next part of the pattern is like this, and then you flip it over and do this. So I'm probably going to work the whole outside from here up, and then you flip it around and like basically do the same thing on the bottom. So anyhow, that's one of the ones that I have to almost remind myself to work on rather than wanting to pick it up. But when I do pick it up, I enjoy it. Sorry, I was talking to you without looking at you. So I was trying to like allot myself a morning like every week to work on that for at least a little bit, but then I didn't do that last week. So we'll see. Okay. Next we'll do I'm sorry. I'd like to say I'm going to edit this out, but I'm not sure that I will. Next is my Forest embroidery kit, Frogs Princesses. See if you can see that. I'm on that middle motif. I finally finished the middle motif and started working on the next motif down. Oops, I actually have. It's nice. I'm not gonna. They have 2 charts, and the second chart is like pieces you can cut out, which is nice. So this is like just one motif, and obviously I don't want to show you the pattern part of it. And I just like tuck it up here, and it's really nice. I kind of like that. Like if I'm going to use a paper chart, I like having a second paper chart that's kind of like a working copy that you can cut out little pieces. Here's where I was last time. And then, I don't know why I pointed to that side because now I'm going to have to do this. Here's where I am now. I finished all of that middle motif. I don't know why it's hard to see the, it is not hard to see that swan in real life, but it does seem hard to see her right here. She sticks out quite well when you look at her. So yeah, the middle motif comes down to these blue waves and up through here. And so I finished all of that and then came down here and started the next motif, which is just kind of a band. So I've just started on it. It's kind of like some water lilies. So, oh, there, she looks a little bit better from that part. But you still can barely see the swan. I don't know. I really do need to like maybe move around how I did before so I could use my little light a little bit better. It seems to work better when I'm facing the other direction. But yeah, I worked about 5 hours or so on her in the last couple weeks. Here's the one I did a whole bunch of work on, which is Emerald City. Here's the picture of it when it's done. I've made a whole lot of progress. I'm down only on that bottom part now. The whole Emerald City and rainbow and all of this stuff is done. And I should have prepared more because I need to take it out of its hoop. I ran out of Q snaps, so this project doesn't have one, and the hoop does not let me see the whole project at once. Also, like I said before in my previous video, this is the softest, floppiest Ada I've ever seen. It's a picture of this Plus Willow is the name of the colorway. So it could probably really use a Q snap because it's very floppy. Anyhow, I finished my whole Emerald City, my balloon, my rainbow, and I'm starting on the hills underneath. I did have to make some color changes here. Mainly due to my fabric choice, and a couple colors are very close to my fabric color. For instance, this green of the turrets here is really the same as this color here, which is almost the same as my fabric. So I had to change them to a different color so that you could see them. Same thing in this balloon. That purple color is supposed to be a color that's very close to my fabric. And I actually really like the purple a little bit better. But basically, when I run into one that is looking too close to my fabric color and it's not standing out at all, I just pick another color from the same project and put it in there so it makes sense. I realized even when I did the floss toss initially that I would probably have to do that because there were like 2 colors in particular that were very close to my fabric. But I really like my fabric. I like the yellowish, greenish gold for the Yellow Brick Road, which will be in the bottom, but I have not stitched it yet. So yeah, I put in, let's see, about 12 hours on this since last time. So a lot of work on that one, including the only day that I have had like without obligations in this past week, or a couple weeks, which was Saturday, and my husband took my kids on a trip all day, and I really should have been like, you know, cleaning my house. I did a little laundry, but I binge watched TV and stitched all day. It was wonderful. You need some days like that. Let's see what we have next. I have my monochromatic Peacock, which is not monochromatic, but this is just the picture of the pattern. Although I'm not doing the outside border, I'm just coming to this inside border. And I have 2 solid colors and a variegated color that I'm using. But I finished the whole first color, which is this blue, which is his body. So I finished his body. Here's a picture of where I was, which is basically just like halfway down his body. And now that's finished. So next, I will start the variegated thread, which is going to be all of his feathers, which is probably going to take me forever. Let's see if you can, I don't know if I have to take it out. But yeah, it's a Threadworks color. That's a purple with purple, blue, and green. And then you can also see the purple, which is going to be the border around him. So yeah, his body, his main body is all done. And now we need some feathers. But this was actually super quick to do. I mean, there's like dots in there where you have to skip, but it was just kind of like a typewriter back and forth, which I usually do projects with like a lot of color changes and stuff. So that was like, oh wow, pretty straightforward. So I will continue work on him until the first day of summer because he is going back and forth with my 4 Seasons project. And I finished the spring section of that project already, so I've put it away and I'm working on him. But on the first day of summer, he will go away and I'll start working on that again. So I still have like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, how many weeks? 4 weeks before I'm switching back. Okay, 2 more works in progress. This one is the Twisted Rainbow Sampler from Northern Expressions Needleworks. It is 18 bands, 19 colors. Every other band is cross stitch and specialty stitches in a rainbow gradient, and I'm using the Dinky Dye silks. I have been wanting to get through the yellows for quite a while. I'm not there yet, so that I can do the cooler colors that I'm more excited about and the brighter colors. But I did start on my last yellow, which is right here. So that's all I did. It was a couple hours worth of work. And I have to continue this yellow, obviously, all the way down, and then start the specialty stitches with it, and then I'll be moving over to some greens. So I do need to get some time in on this. It's on a 32 count black linen. I have to be in the mood and have good light to work on the black. But it is looking good. Slow and steady progress on this one. Okay, and my last work in progress. It's a stitch along, so I don't have the full picture of it yet. I should be able to insert maybe a picture of where we are so far with the pattern that's been released. We've had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 6 pieces released so far of the 10, I think. I'm a little behind, but I'm getting there. I'm not going to take it off the Q-snap. It's missing a tiny bit of the border more on this side. But this is the Pro Choice Stitch Along from Notorious Needle. Sarah designed this of Notorious Needle, and she has her own Flosstube, so check her out. And yeah, so part 1 was the border, which I have not done the bottom, but like I did the top border and the My Body, which I have left off one of the colors because I figured that's going to be a good fill-in for me later, like one day when I'm out of the house or something. Also, since this is on Pattern Keeper on my phone, it's easy to take out of the house. So that was part 1. Part 2, I think, was My Choice and the uterus. So since last time, I have filled in, I think I just had the outline of the uterus, and then I did all of this saying over here, but I have not done the back stitching. This is actually really interesting because you can see these are both the same font, and you can see what they look like when you just do the cross stitch and when you actually do the back stitch as well. So this doesn't even look like words, and this does. Obviously this says, I will not go quietly back to 1950. This side says, against abortion, don't get one, don't have one. Yes, I think that's what it is. But you can't really even tell what it says until I do the back stitching. And I can pull up the PDF, but since I'm working out of Pattern Keeper, I have to do like a whole different thing to get to the back stitch part. So I just didn't do it yet, and I started making the next line down here. So I think I spent about 5 hours on this since last time, but I do need to do more. I need to catch up because there's a whole section that goes across here. And then the middle part below that is also out now. Like I said, I think there's probably 4 more parts still to be released. I need to catch up. But this is a good one to take out of the house because it's on, you know, the pattern's on my phone and it doesn't have too many colors. Like this is all the colors. There's 13 of them. So it's not like an overly, it's an easy piece to do when I'm traveling. And I've been going to a lot of softball games, so it's good to do for that. And it's on an 18 count Ada, which is the first time I'm using that small of count, but I like it. I like it a lot. In fact, actually, that's the one thing about this, this one I wanted to mention. This is on a 14 count Ada, and I'm not loving the coverage. Obviously, if I were to redo this now, it would be more on a 16 or 18 count. You actually don't see it very much on the video, but I feel like the coverage in this blue area, you're seeing the yellow fabric come through. Oh, maybe you're not on the video. I can see it. You won't see it when it's like kind of done and framed, but it's just not as nice of coverage as I would like. So that's all my works in progress. Trying to go a little quickly today and not get lost on tangents. I don't really know what my plans are. I haven't had kind of like firm stitchy goals. I'm fighting off the urge to start new things without finishing my old things. Watching too much Flosstube, I think. And I know there's nothing wrong with having a million whips. Or not a million, but even a lot. More than 7. But I don't know. I've already made the leap from being a monogamous stitcher to having a handful of whips, and I do like that, to have something different to pull out as my mood dictates, because I never want to work on something that I don't want to work on just to get it done. I mean, every once in a while that's okay, especially when I'm making presents for people and I just want to get them done by a certain time. But I want to enjoy what I'm doing, but I also want to feel like I'm making progress, and I don't want to dilute that progress over too many projects. But I have some things kitted up that I really would like to work on, so I don't know what that means. I don't know. Flosstube's such a bad influence. And like my bear project, my watercolor bear, the really big one, I haven't shown it in a couple of videos because I haven't picked it up. I want to work on it, but also like I don't feel myself picking it up. I was using a different method before where I was like rolling my dice and working on whatever it said, but I've been a little more going with my mood lately, which is also great. Anyhow, I don't know. I'm going with it for now. I might want to be a little more systematic in my approach again in the future. That does seem to be like my nature, but we'll see. Anyhow, that's enough of that. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for sticking with me, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.